Asafoetida or Asafoetida is the dried latex exuded from the rhizome or taproot of several species of Ferula, a perennial herb that grows 1 to 1.5 am tall. The species is native to the deserts of Iran, mountains of Afghanistan, and is mainly cultivated in nearby India. As its name suggests, Asafoetida has a fetid smell, but in cooked dishes it delivers a smooth flavor reminiscent of leeks. It is also known as asant, food of the gods, giant fennel, jowani badian, stinking gum, devil's dung, hing, kayam and ting. Uses: cooking. This spice is used as a digestive aid, in food as a condiment, and in pickles. It typically works as a flavor enhancer and, used along with turmeric, is a standard component of Indian cuisine, particularly in lentil curries, such as dal, or various paper like dosakaya, or tomato papu, mimidikaya in Telugu, called mavinakari in Canada, as well as in numerous vegetable dishes. It is especially widely used in South Indian and Maharashtrian cuisine, which is mainly vegetarian, and is often used to harmonize sweet, sour, salty and spicy components in food. It is used to hallmark the taste of Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Kerala and Tamil Nadu sambar, a saucy dish made with cereals and lentils. The spice is added to the food at the time of chaurn/popu/tadka. Sometimes dried and ground asafoetida can be mixed with salt and eaten with raw salad. In its pure form, its odor is so strong the aroma will contaminate other spices stored nearby if it is not stored in an airtight container. Many commercial preparations of asafoetida utilize the resin ground up and mixed with a larger volume of wheat flour. The mixture is sold in sealed plastic containers with a small hole at the bottom, allowing the diluted spice to be dusted lightly over the food being cooked. However, its odor and flavor become much milder and more pleasant upon heating in oil or ghee, acquiring a taste and aroma reminiscent of sota. Copyright ed onion and garlic. It is used especially by the merchant caste of the Hindus and by adherents of Jainism and Vaishnavism, particularly in Rajasthan, Gujarat and Maharashtra, who do not eat onions or garlic. It is used in many vegetarian and lentil dishes to add both flavor and aroma as well as to reduce flatulence. It is, however, one of the pungent vegetables generally avoided by Buddhist vegetarians. Medical applications: anti-flatulant. Asafoetida reduces the growth of indigenous microflora in the gut, reducing flatulence. In the Jammu region of India, asafoetida is used as a medicine for flatulence and constipation by 60% of locals. A digestion aid. In Thailand and India, it is used to aid digestion and is smeared on the abdomen in an alcohol or water tincture known as hing. Asafoetida in this tincture form was evidently used in Western medicine as a topical treatment for abdominal injuries during the 18th and 19th centuries, although when it came into use in the West and how long it remained in use is uncertain. One notable case in which it was used is that of Canadian coureur des bois Alexis St. Martin, who in 1822 suffered a severe abdominal injury from an accidental shooting that perforated his right lung and stomach and shattered several ribs. St. Martin was treated by American Army surgeon William Beaumont, who subsequently used St. Martin as the subject of a pioneering series of experiments in gastric physiology, thanks to the fact that when St. Martin's wounds fully healed, it left an open fistula into the stomach that enabled Beaumont to insert various types of food directly into St. Martin's stomach and record the results. In his account of his treatment of and later experiments on St. Martin, Beaumont recorded that he treated the suppurating chest wound with a combination of wine mixed with diluted muriatic acid and 30 to 40 drops of tincture of asafoetida applied 3 times a day, and that this appeared to have the desired effect, helping the wound to heal. Fighting influenza. Asafoetida was used in 1918 to fight the Spanish influenza pandemic. In 2009, researchers reported that the roots of asafoetida produce natural antiviral drug compounds that demonstrated potency against the H1N1 virus in vitro and concluded that sesquiterpene coumarins from F. asafoetida may serve as promising lead compounds for new drug development against influenza A viral infection. Remedy for asthma and bronchitis. It is also said to be helpful in cases of asthma and bronchitis. A folk tradition remedy for children's colds, It is mixed into a pungent-smelling paste and hung in a bag around the afflicted child's neck. An antimicrobial, Asafoetida has a broad range of uses in traditional medicine as an antimicrobial, with well-documented uses for treating chronic bronchitis and whooping cough, as well as reducing flatulence. A contraceptive abortifacient, Asafoetida has also been reported to have contraceptive abortifacient activity. It is related to the ancient Ferula species Silphium. Anti-epileptic, Asafoetida oleogum resin has been reported to be anti-epileptic in classical Unani, as well as ethnobotanical literature. Balancing the Vata and Kapha. In India, according to the Ayurveda, Asafoetida is considered to be one of the best spices for balancing the Vata dosha. It mitigates Vata and Kapha, relieves flatulence and colic pain. It is pungent in taste and at the end of digestion. It aggravates pitta, enhances appetite, taste and digestion. It is easy to digest, antidote for opium. Asafoetida has only been speculated to be an antidote for opium. Other uses, bait. John C. Duval reported in 1936 that the odor of Asafoetida is attractive to the wolf, a matter of common knowledge, he says, along the Texas-Mexico border. It is also used as one of several possible scent baits, most notably for catfish and pike. May also be used as a moth-light trap attractant by Collectorsa euro, when mixed by approximately 1 part to 3 parts with a sweet, fruit jelly. Repelling spirits. In Jamaica, Asafoetida is traditionally applied to a baby's anterior fontaine to prevent spirits from entering the baby through the fontaine. In the African American hoodoo tradition, Asafoetida is used in magic spells, as it is believed to have the power both to protect and to curse. In ceremonial magic, especially from the Key of Solomon the King, it is used to protect the magus from demonic forces and to evoke the same and bind them. History in the West. It was familiar in the early Mediterranean, having come by land across Iran. Though it is generally forgotten now in Europe, it is still widely used in India. It emerged into Europe from a conquering expedition of Alexander the Great, who, after returning from a trip to northeastern Persia, thought they had found a plant almost identical to the famed Silphium of Cyrene in North Africa though less tasty. Dioscorides, in the 1st century, wrote, "The Cyrenaic kind, even if one just tastes it, at once arouses a humor throughout the body and has a very healthy aroma, so that it is not noticed on the breath, or only a little. But the median, Iranian is weaker in power and has a nastier smell. Nevertheless, it could be substituted for Silphium in cooking, which was fortunate, because a few decades after Dioscorides' time, the true Silphium of Cyrene became extinct, and Asafoetida became more popular amongst physicians, as well as cooks." Asafoetida is also mentioned multiple times in Jewish literature, such as the Mishnah. Maimonides also writes in the Mishneh Torah in the rainy season, one should eat warm food with much spice, but a limited amount of mustard and asafoetida. Asafoetida was described by a number of Arab and Islamic scientists and pharmacists. Avicenna discussed the effects of asafoetida on digestion. Ibn al-Baytar and Fakhr al-Din al-Razi described some positive medicinal effects of it on the respiratory system. After the Roman Empire fell, until the 16th century, asafoetida was rare in Europe, and if ever encountered, it was viewed as a medicine. If used in cookery, it would ruin every dish because of its dreadful smell, asserted Garcia de Orta's European guest. "Nonsense," Garcia replied, "nothing is more widely used in every part of India, both in medicine and in cookery. All the Hindus who can afford it buy it to add to their food." Cultivation and manufacture. The resin-like gum comes from the dried sap extracted from the stem and roots and is used as a spice. The resin is grayish-white when fresh but dries to a dark amber color. The asafoetida resin is difficult to grate and is traditionally crushed between stones or with a hammer. Today, the most commonly available form is compounded asafoetida, a fine powder containing 30% asafoetida resin, along with rice flour and gum arabic. Ferula asafoetida is a monoecious, herbaceous, perennial plant of the family Umbelliferae, also called Apiaceae. It grows to 2 meters high, with a circular mass of 30–40 cm leaves. Stem leaves have wide sheathing petioles. Flowering stems are 2.5–3 meters high and 10 cm thick and hollow, with a number of schizogenous ducts in the cortex containing the resinous gum. Flowers are pale greenish-yellow, produced in large compound umbels. Fruits are oval, flat, thin, reddish-brown and have a milky juice. Roots are thick, massive, and pulpy. They yield a resin similar to that of the stems. All parts of the plant have the distinctive fetid smell. Composition: typical Asafoetida contains about 40–64% resin, 25% endogenous gum, 10–17% volatile oil, and 1.5–10% ash. The resin portion is known to contain aceresinotanols A and B, ferulic acid, umbelliferone and 4 unidentified compounds. Etymology: the English name is derived from assa, a Latinized form of Farsi assa, meaning resin, and Latin foetide meaning smelling, fetid, which refers to its strong sulfurous odor. It is called aan euro occurrency, hng, in Hindi, r squared, r cubed in Canada, a degree, a plus or minus a degree micron in Telugu, and AAAA, a registered trademark, unregistered trademark, a registered trademark, AAAA in Tamil. Its pungent odor has resulted in it being known by many unpleasant names. In French it is known as merde du diable, meaning devil's feces. In English it is sometimes called devil's dung, and equivalent names can be found in most Germanic languages. Also, in Finnish it is called pirunpaskan or pirunfka, and in Turkish it is known as angstramitan tersi, angstramitan boku or angstramitan otu. In popular culture, Penrod, an 11-year-old boy in a 1929 Booth Tarkington story set in the Midwestern United States, suffers intensely for being forced to wear a bag of Asafoetida on his neck and encounters a girl in the same condition. In the Tooth or Consequences episode of the comedy TV series Sanford and Son, Fred Sanford wears an Asafoetida bag to get rid of a bad toothache. In the movie El Dorado, Asafoetida was a component of a hangover remedy that was introduced by James Caan's character Mississippi. In the Snidely Sawmill episode of Dudley Do Right, villain Snidely Whiplash tells Nell Fenwick preparatory to her being tied to a log that, because, Miss Fenwick, beneath this black exterior there lies a mustard plaster and over the mustard plaster lies an Asafoetida bag. On it, imprinted in pica are the words, Whippy loves Nellie. In the incident at Red River Station, Season 2, Episode 13 of Rawhide, townspeople wear an Asafoetida bag to ward off smallpox. In the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa area of Pakistan, people hang a small bag of Asafoetida around the neck or tie it around the arm to keep safe from seasonal, bacterial and viral illnesses, the efficacy of which might have more to do with repelling potentially infected people rather than the disease-causing organisms themselves. In Robertson Davis's novel, Fifth Business, the barber Milo and his father hung bags of Asafoetida around their necks to fight the Spanish flu. In Sinclair Lewis' novel Arrowsmith, the protagonist smells Asafoetida as part of a fraternity initiation. In Aldous Huxley's novel Brave New World, beta children are given a whiff of Asafoetida, accompanied by descriptions of deltas as being undesirable to play with, during sleep conditioning, in order to condition them to play only with members of their caste. In To Kill a Mockingbird, Scout describes the clean smells of the attendees at the First Purchase African Emmy Church, saying there was Hearts of Love hairdressing mingled with Asafoetida, snuff, Hoyt's cologne, Brown's mule, peppermint, and lilac talcum. In Toni Morrison's The Bluest Eye, Aunt Jimmy raises Colibri Adlove after his mother abandons him. He is grateful for Aunt Jimmy's kindness except when she wore the asafetida bag around her neck. See also, Aminakam, Chart Masla, South Asian pickle, Sirstra paragraph Minga Euro, another food noted for its highly fetid smell. References. External links.